The admit button. Admit. Admit.
Ding ding. Well, wait a minute.
Participants. View. Yeah, if you go here and just hit the blue admit all button like every couple of seconds. Wow. I don't know what you want for thank you. No, I don't want that.
I haven't done this since COVID.
I know.
Hello, everybody. Wait like 2 more minutes and we'll start. So how's everybody doing though? Are you excited for have you all looked at all the emails about Woodbridge? We'll go over that like a hot minute about traveling, and we'll go also questions, and if people have some questions about titles.
Yeah, we do want to do some titling.
Stuff, information like that. So I'll explain what that is and how some competitions, if you do title, you can't go for overalls and stuff like that. So good job. Can everybody on Zoom see me? Am I clear? Can you hear me? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mr. J, and welcome to Competition 101. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give y'all some rules and regulations, what we expect from the parents this year, what's going on for competitions and stuff like that, and what, if y'all have any questions for me or for what's going on and stuff like that. So start off, who's first year ever doing big competitions? Cool. So welcome for that. So we're just going to go through some of my stuff about what we need to do this year. Okay, our number one thing is being on time. That's our biggest thing. So make sure that everybody's going to be arriving this year about 2 hours before you go to the competition. So therefore, if you're at 1 o'clock, you will be there at 11 o'clock. We will always post 2 weeks prior about what we are doing, when we are doing it, what time it is. And make sure also everybody has the WhatsApp. With that WhatsApp, competitions can either go later or faster, depending on it. So therefore, during the day, if you're not at the competition or you're supposed to be at 1 o'clock, always have your WhatsApp on to a vibrate or where you can hear it, just because we might say, hey, we are an hour behind, come back here or 2, or hey, we're an hour ahead, you need to get here now, especially. So with that, so just making sure we're being on time, making sure that we double check the night before our bags. I know the kids will be like, hey, we have everything, but I would do, this is what I do is I make a checklist, check it off, print it out, put it in your bag, so then you know you have it. So when you unzip it, you know that you have the jazz shoes, the hair pieces, and everything like that. I would also put in there the list. We're going to try to keep the hair to a minimum, but some people might say a ponytail for hip hop, or we might do something different. What we're going to do with the hair is, if we're at a competition and it's pressed for time, then we're always going to be in a bun. But if there's time where we're like, we have a hip hop, put in a ponytail, so we will have that, all the information for you before we do the competition and stuff like that. When it comes to the showcase, it might be different. The showcase is just us, so we might just be doing all buns for the showcase, since it is ours back to back. All right. So be prepared. Have the correct hair and makeup. Yes. Probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Or I might just do it because we're so there. Make sure that we know exactly what our makeup is. So our Miss Lauren has like a tutorial I think we've done. You need to have the lips, you need to have full makeup. I know if some people are allergic to makeup, you still have to have an alternate. We need to be clean, slick back, no wispies, hair. This is makeup. This is, you're going to see there's probably kids. Do not add glitter. Parades and stuff was great. For competition, we are exactly the same with makeup. We have the same eyes, same lips, eyeliners. Older kids have lashes on. Younger ones do not. That would be probably my apprentice team up should have the lashes, or at least a good like mascara. And then no wispy, slick back. You need to get like the glue, have it slick back, tight bun or ponytail. We will never be like, let's pop it up like that. Making sure your shoes are clean. So if you have competition shoes, keep them. If you're going to use other shoes, just make sure they're clean and everything like that. Okay. Stay positive throughout the competition. All right, so that's a good one. So making sure we're staying positive, avoid negative talk. You never know who's around you. So my biggest thing about competitions, when we're all hanging out, we get tired, we might say something. Try not to talk about other studios. Hold on. So let's try not to talk about other studios just because you never know who's around you, what parents are there. If you hear someone talking about our studio, don't say anything to them. Just be like, in time, put in the WhatsApp or personally message one of us and say, hey, Mr. J, hey, Ms. Lauren, there's a studio that's been saying stuff about us. But don't be like, what are you doing? That's my child. Because that causes stuff. We always want to have a positive because they do a spirit thing every week where we're always watching. When you are there watching, again, talking a positive attitude. When we are in the audience, if you're sitting close as a judge, I hear everything. Even though we were talking, if y'all, that's why they block it off two things, because you never know. If we don't block it off, we have parents that sit behind us. And the reason they sit behind us is because they can hear what we're saying and they're looking at the scores. Even with two lines behind, if you're yelling and screaming, one, this is coming from the kids. Try not to yell their names when we're at competition. This was asked by pretty much every group this year. Can you please tell our parents, do not single me out when we are dancing on stage? If they're doing a solo, yes, everything like that. But we're in a group dance. Cheer as loud as you want to, but be respectful cheer. They just said, hey, when you call us out, they feel like we're doing something wrong. So positive cheering and stuff like that. Again, when we're in the audience, for everyone that's new, do not stand up and leave in the middle of a number. You have to sit and you're going to go through that with all that information. Next, be considerate. Avoid yelling at the dancers, naming, cheering loudly. Sometimes that distracts the kids, but still cheer the dancers on in a positive attitude. Okay, be patient. It's going to be a very long day. So even though we're taking care of the kids, hydrating them, eating, and all that stuff, as parents, you also need to take care of yourself. Okay? So I know that sometimes you're like, you're doing stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't drink, I didn't eat. You're going to be there for a long time too. So just making sure that you're also taking care of your child and that you're also taking care of yourself. With that, be supportive, cheer on all the other teams, and also be positive. So if you see someone, a group, and you can go, oh my God, that number was great. Oh, I love your costume. You can do that. Just making sure that you don't go, did you see what they did on stage? Yeah. Next one is follow the rules. So this is a big one. At competition, do not videotape or take pictures at the competition or backstage or in the dressing rooms. They have you this is a new one for all of us. If you're taking pictures, you need to take it out in the front lobby. No picture taking is allowed backstage or in the dressing room. This year, we've been lucky on years in the past where we've been a smaller studio. We have 47 dancers and 46 numbers. More than likely, they put the larger studios in the larger rooms with other studios. So we might be in a cafeteria or a gymnasium or something like that. We will be in the bigger rooms. With that said, you don't want to take a picture. 1, kids are changing. 2, kids are changing. 3, kids are changing. And that's all we need. You're going like this. Hey, get together. And even though everybody's closed, you could have a parent being like, why are you taking a picture of my kids? No cameras. So when you're going backstage, take all the pictures in the front, all that stuff like that. That was my role. Be aware of your surrounding space that you're in at. So when we're there, again, set up Make it a personal space. Again, more than likely, we are sharing this year with everyone. So watch that personal space. When we do go to competition, more than likely, I will be like, hey, whoever gets there early, let's find a space for music and motion. We'll have our own little corner. Don't overdo it with that. Okay?
If we have a changing tent, are we allowed to bring it?
Yes, that would be blocking off our own little section. But like what I'm saying is being like, y'all over here and you're over here and we're right here. Let's try to stay together and be respectful. With that, doing changes. This year, we are only going to have 2 to 3 parents per dance troupe. We will have a sign up coming up and we will do that. Google. It won't be the same parents for every competition. So whoever's going to do soar, we'll have 2 for one group, 2 for the next group. You will come in, you will drop your stuff off, set it up for your child, and then you will leave. We will have the 3 people that are helping will be the ones to do costume changes. You are not allowed backstage to give them waters, to give them food. That will be up to the parents that with that happens. If something does happen, the parents that will there, they will reach out to you and say, hey, can you come back and help, blah, 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 blah. Once they are done for that day, you need to come in and you need to grab your stuff, pack it up, leave, and go and watch the rest of the competition. All right?
Well,
So that's
the same group of parents for the whole weekend of competition?
yes.
Or just
So
one day?
like, so it would be, we could do days. I'll come up with it. You'd rather do days or would you rather days? So we'll do days. So that would be, but the thing is different days. Different days, y'all might not
Oh,
compete.
yes.
Yeah, we'll do the schedule. So what we're gonna do, we'll go through y'all. It'll be a sign up, and it basically would be again, if your group is there, we need. It's just what happened is the kids are getting overwhelmed. They said Lester, Mr. J, because we all have nerves and they're nervous. But what happens? We're gonna go on that in a minute. They get nervous, and then y'all have nerves, and then they feel that, and then it gets tons of people in there, and they said we get claustrophobic. They want to have me time. So with that, we will have for the dressing rooms going on. So I have don't hang out as a reference. Give your okay. Positive stuff. Once you get there and set everyone up, I want you to give your dancer a hug, tell them that you love them and that you're proud of them before they warm up and come to us. Okay? Positive stuff. If you see them on stage and they cry, they mess up, they feel like crap, you know they messed up, do not say it. When you see them again, please just be like, oh my gosh, you're beautiful, you're wonderful. Because what happens, I've heard sometimes in the past with different studios and stuff, not y'all, but it could happen. Don't be like, well, why was your kick? Or you look tired. Because all that's going to do is make them at the end of the day be like, my mom thinks I'm awful. So they could have fell on your face and be like, oh my God, that was so good that you fell on your face. I loved it. You wiped that bloody nose up and you were like, yes, girl. So keep that up and stuff like that. Always positive, positive, positive. Even if they're like, oh my God, it was awful. And in your mind, yeah, you stood there and do anything, but you're gonna be like, yes, but you were beautiful. You let me have it. You stood there with grace. So, okay. Next one. Hovering. So this is a big one. So this year, once we get there and you put all of your stuff in the dressing room, you tell your child that you love them and you're ready, it is now the staff's job to do their job. Therefore, thank you very much. We will see you. Go shopping, go have some dinner, go watch the competition. It is now our turn to get ready for competition. There will be no more hanging out pictures. If you see us and we are practicing upstairs, if we're in the corner, that is not your opportunity to come here and take videos, pictures. That means we are making business. What has happened with this? This has happened at the car show. Again, too much hovering. So it's our turn. Second of all, with that, again, after they finish dances, yes, you're gonna come back, grab and cheer them, all that stuff like that. We're just trying to keep it where it's their time because this, again, this is coming from us as staff, but it's also come from the kids saying, hey, this is what we feel like we can't be ourselves because there's nerves coming from our family. So we're just trying to iterate that it's their time because they're here. So again, Once we have them, the staff member has them, we will see you after they compete. So after a last number and they're done, yes, we will bring them around. Also, next one, when it comes to the adjudications at the end, we need everyone to be there to watch one of all. So this weekend when we're up in Woodbridge, we're all there together. Even if your kid's not competing, come and watch. So that does not mean, so if there is a awards at 11 o'clock at night and they're at 7 o'clock in the morning, you do not have to stay for the awards. We would like for you to go home and get some rest and stuff like that, just because support all day. But when you're there all day, you can still watch all day. You don't have to be there for all the awards. It's just to be there for sport, especially with the older girls. They're usually there. No one's in the audience ever for the older girls. So just a lot of support and stuff like that. Okay. Next. So with that, make sure we have the WhatsApp, listen to the WhatsApp with the staff. So just to give you all a little about us, because Mr. Day is very good at this. We are there usually from 6:30 in the morning till 1 in the morning every day. So we would like, if there's questions, go through the WhatsApp. We will try to answer it as much as possible. If you see that we're busy, don't bother us because we're doing a lot going on. We have this year again, we have a very large team, so we're doing that. So if there's questions, put in the WhatsApp. If you see when we're free and we're having free times, then yes, come to us and be like, hey, we're just making sure that this goes on the right, this going left, but we're already going to have that on our checklist, so we shouldn't have our problems. Plus the parents that are helping in the back should have a checklist too, so they should be okay with making sure everybody's all right. Do buy us coffees or snacks if you want. We love that. If you come to us and you see we're frowning, Mr. J does, and I'm like snippy, it's not because I'm tired or I hate you guys or we love your children. It's just that we have a lot going on. Being behind the stage is getting their costumes, getting them checked in, making sure they're okay, getting them on stage, doing that, running off stage. So we have a lot too. So just if we're like, hey, just always be respectful. Again, WhatsApp is going to be our friend. So, because what's happening is I see when we post something lately, we'll say, this is what is happening and this is what is going on. 2 seconds later, hey, do we need this, da, da, da? And we're like, we just did that 2 sentences ago. So start scrolling. That would be great. Okay, yeah.
Streamline for that communication, whether it's creating an app that's like announcement only in a thread and then responses in something else, because I feel like things come out and then they get buried.
They get buried.
So they just scroll that down.
Only,
So we'll start, yeah, if Ms. Lauren has that.
But is that like, especially for competitions?
Yes, so we will make note of that and we will try to do that. Okay, so let's talk about competition.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to 3 competitions. Our first one is a travel competition. Right now, you guys got all the information. You need to go ahead and book your hotel because the sooner you book it, the cheaper it's going to be. The high school is not in Woodbridge. Just to give you a heads up, if you Google it, it's like probably 10 minutes from Woodbridge. We're like an outskirts of Woodbridge, okay? So you can stay at the Fairfield if you want to. Just make sure that you go through Miss Lauren. Miss Lauren, are we all doing that, or is what is that? Is it we should all be staying at the Fairfield, or is it hey, I'm going to stay somewhere else? Okay.
You're doing stuff at Fairfield.
Yes, all the events will be at the.
All the events. So there you go. All the events will be at the Fairfield. So I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. For me, there is a Radisson that I'm staying at, and it actually has 2 bedrooms, living room, and kitchen. They're actually cheap right now, and it's 2 miles away from the venue. There's also a Homewood Suites are right across the street from the Radisson. They also have 1 bedrooms, living room, and kitchen. So if you're bringing your family, I got it for really cheap, but it's like literally like you can get a studio, or you can get a 1 bedroom, or you can get a 2 bedroom with a fireplace. And it's 2 miles from the venue. So yeah, so if you go on, this is for everybody. If you go online and type in Google but put in the high school and put hotels near the high school, it will actually show you everything that's near. There's a Holiday Inn right now for $80. Yeah,
How far is the Fairfield from the high school?
it's like 15 miles, but these are like 15 minutes.
Oh.
But yeah, so if you're haven't got to Fairfield, check this out. Especially if you're taking your family, and because the only reason I like this is because it has a refrigerator, a microwave, and a little stove. So then instead of going out, you can pack your stuff, have all your stuff, and then again, all of our events, the pool party and pizza will be at the other one. So yeah, thank you for clarifying for that. Woodbridge traveling. So once we get the schedule, we will let you know what's competing that night. We would like for everybody, hopefully to be in Woodbridge Friday night. Because even though you might not be competing since or Saturday, just because we all know how traffic is, going to DC area doesn't matter where we're going. When we go to Richmond, I drive there all the time, and I'm like, yes, no. So just think about it. Also on Sunday, you might want to stay because we don't know what time production might be on Sunday. Usually with competitions, this is how it happens. Either teens and seniors are on Friday night or the little ones on Friday night. Or it's opposite. The little ones are always at 6 o'clock in the morning. Productions are always usually on the last day, Sunday, just because that's when we do all the big groups, seniors and stuff like that. Production is considered a senior category. So we will be like that. So that was going to be for our travel one. So the travel one, just talk among yourself, making sure in the WhatsApp, I would like to be like, I know it's a lot, but be like, hey, I'm leaving now, just because we kind of know, hey, you're on your way, or y'all like, hey, we're leaving now because we did school. Just because I just don't want anybody to be like, hey, we got in a wreck, or so yeah, we just want to make sure we're all on that same page. So on state of mind for me, I could be like, okay, Saturday or Friday, this group, we're all here. Or y'all could be like, hey, we stuck in traffic. So allow yourself time for the traveling and stuff like that. Food and drink. When we're at competition, water, Gatorade, try not to do soda, try not to do anything sugary, because what that does is either I've had stomach aches, I've had adrenaline where they're like, I had a Coke, and then all of a sudden they're like, I am exhausted. Normal food. I'm always all about after they're done, yeah, buy them some pizza, give them some candy, like that stuff like that, like keep the energy going. And then after that, once we come back, we will go into our next one, which are here. Again, with this one, I know a few of you are looking at to stay in Norfolk for Sheer. Is that the one that was Sheer?
Yep.
So just make sure. So a lot of studios, even that are local, they stay just because it's a long day. I know we only live 20 minutes, but it's that extra little, hey, let's go upstairs, take a nap type of thing. So if y'all are doing Sheer, you're more than likely okay to get a hotel and stuff like that. And then our last one is Encore. Encore is our biggest one. So Encore is known for Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. Every studio, all of Hampton Roads and Richmond goes to that one. So they're going to see their friends and stuff like that one. Again, that's where we always, our studio, we always respect, hey, how's it going? Because, with that. Okay, so competitions. Any questions for me that y'all would like to ask? Anything about etiquette, like how to talk, costumes, what we're doing, stuff like that? Yes.
So last year, the girls would dance and then they would just randomly come out and watch other dances. Are they gonna be doing that, or they'll be backstage from beginning to end?
So what we're going to try to do is that works, but doesn't work, because what happens is we're going, where is so and so? So this again, it's going to be minis, juniors. I kind of want to be like, and that's rewind with that. So if your kid's block is not during that section, you cannot go throw your stuff down in the dressing room until that block is done. So say our minis are dancing on Friday night and it's just minis. Guess what? That's all that should be in the dressing room. It's the minis costumes. And again, that's why I'm saying after you're done, pack your duffel up and go, because then our next group will come in and go and get ready to go. And then we just have that rotation and everything like that. I don't mind it if there's a big chunk, say they have an hour in between, yes, go ahead and watch. But if there's like My thing is, I don't want to be like, I'm gonna go watch my friend. And then all of a sudden we're like, but you have 4 numbers or 5 numbers, because with us, what we're trying to do this year is, that's what we're gonna do the 2 hours. The 2 hours is, you go in, you throw your stuff into the room, and then you're gonna stretch, and then we're gonna go upstairs or to a place, and then we're gonna start warming up, going in there, and then we're gonna check in, be ready to go. So therefore, they might not have time. So we'll see that once we get there. Once we get the schedule, again, we will give you guys the schedule, and then we will go with that block and stuff like that. But again, we're trying to make sure that we're not. Now, when we do production, yes, we're all going to be in there. Production. So this year, so if you haven't done production yet, so productions are fun. They're fabulous. Depending on what competition it is, some competitions, we'll look and see. If you're in production, it doesn't matter what level you are. It's just called production. So therefore, we could be going to a group that's like crazy, but then also, if not, we're in competitive for production. So let me explain that for everyone. So when you're at competition, you have recreational, competitive, and elite. Most of our dances are competitive, and it's due because what it is you calculate how many hours of dance they do per week. You put that in the thing, they shake it up, and they say but luckily we can change that and put some people on certain levels, but we are not going to do that. Hopefully we're going to be. So when you get your thing, it's going to say recreational. So when we do competitions, it's always recreational, competitive, elite. Yes.
Did you touch on, when it comes to competition, that in some cases, based on level and age group, that some of our dances will be competing against
Each other? Yes. So we'll come. Yes. So we have. So that's what Ms. Lauren just said. Where are these schedules coming out for the competition? Soon. So let's go with that. So this is the question. So with the competitions, usually competitions give us their schedule a week to 2 weeks prior to the competition. Lauren will get it, Miss Madison will get it, and then we will look and say, okay, this is spelled right, this is right. Hey, this is back to back. We need to change this to make sure we have a costume change. They're very lenient with that. With that, again, the level. So recreational, competitive, elite. What were you saying, Ms. Lauren? So we are going to compete against, because we have such a large thing. What we are doing is by age group, we also can do this. So like with me just now, I have 2 numbers. We started out as contemporary, and they're going to consider, so now one is lyrical and one is contemporary, meaning they're not going against each other in their category, but for overalls, they'll go against each other. So but when it comes to that, it might be a jazz, all that stuff. So when you're at competition, there's tons of categories. So to understand this when we're going through that. So once we do awards at the award ceremony, so there has to be at least 3 in your category to get first overall. So they will give out platinum, double platinum, high gold at the very beginning. And then after that, they'll say first in category. So that means that they went against more than 3 numbers in their category. If there is only 1 person in that category, you don't get first overall. It's just, they don't do that. So once you do that, they're going to do the top overall of that age category and group. So then it would be 7-year-olds, top duet trio, 7-year-olds, top large group, small group. They do that with that. So that's how, but it's going to be in recreational, it's going to be in competitive, or it's going to be in elite. So does that make sense? So with that age category, depending like production's kind of in the teen category because we have a lot of older kids. So therefore, that's how that's going to be. Yes. Anything else? What else? Yes. Yes.
With the duets, if there's like a 2-year age gap between the dancers, do they age them up or age them down?
It's calculated. So like right now I have so like it's SOAR right now, like the age category it's a big category. So it's like from 7 to 9, 10 to 13, 13 to 15, 16 to 20. So, but then the next competition after is a totally different. So
Charlotte Kenzie, they're 7 and 9.
So it would, so 7 and 9, so what happened, they would probably be in the 8-year-old category, cause you take the number and it becomes that,
That would be like ours.
yes, so it would be,
And if you do, I usually don't print out or post the rules or anything like that, but they are posted publicly, so if you are confused and you
Yeah.
want to learn, you can go to the website of each competition.
and click on the rules.
You can read through the rules that they post about what makes a certain category and how they calculate the age groups and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. We type it into the computer and let the computer do the work.
Yes. And then like, so that's it, but yeah, like I had SOAR, I was looking at SOAR today, and like SOAR's different, so like SOAR will, theirs is like something rising star or like shooting star, it's like names, and then Encore's like elite, novice, you know, like, so it's just different things. So like, yeah, if you want to, that, I was just looking at, it's a whole page. These are the rules, this is how long your number should be, this is what category you're in and stuff like that. And then, so what else is there? Yes, more.
No, that was it.
So
I think
I
of it,
wasn't
right.
sure, are we, I know that there's gonna be a discussion around when students who are not dancing should be coming to watch and support. We're generally encouraging support.
yes,
I wasn't sure if we were gonna plan like a sign up for that to make sure that certain people got covered and, does that make sense?
we can, or we can just, like I said, usually if your kids are 2 hours, but just be respectful, like, and when we're in, especially for SOAR, we're up in Woodbridge, you might as well come and watch.
You get a taste of it, yeah.
Get to understand, and it's also great for the little ones, because they get to see the older ones, and again, last year, we would, like, it was 3 of us sitting in the audience for the older girls. And they kind of go, hey, no one's, but we understand, because that's what happens, when you get older, seniors are like, you dance till 1 AM, and then the babies are like, you're gonna dance at 5:45.
And especially, like, I think you mentioned, if someone has to be there at 6:30 for a 7 AM start, you don't be there watching.
Yes. Okay, each competition has titles. So with titles, again, if you want your child to be a part, this is only for soloists. We also, there is a photogenic thing. So what you can do, photogenic is basically headshots. They win a crown, they win best photogenic. If you want to enter that too, let us know. Each category, guys, it's the same price. It's a headshot. A hint is the more natural they look, more like a kid, we're gonna pick them. When I judge, when someone shows up with a pageant looking Dolly Dinkle thing, I'm like, but there's a cute girl with a nice little thing. And that's another thing. So that's every competition we have has photogenic. Every competition we have has title. So you need to read the title. If you're thinking about putting your child in a title category, make sure that, so some competitions have it where if you go for title, you can't win overalls. So that's the difference. So because you're going for titles. Some competitions you can still win overalls and you can win. So Bella and Gabe last year, they won in the top 10, but they also won titles for Mr. Was it World Class? World Class. Sheer. They're Mr. and Mrs. Sheer. But they also won in their title. You have to have a solo, it cannot be a duet, trio, anything like that, but solo. So if you're thinking about title and you want to put in title, I think it's a great opportunity. It's wonderful. They don't have to talk. It's just when judges are judging, it just pops up and they'll say it at the beginning. Number 9.
One of them this year made some talk.
Okay.
It's written down, yeah.
But just make sure that if they are going for title, that if it says you won't be a part of the top 10, that your kids know that they're not going to be called out for the top 10. Some people are more into the top 10 than getting a crown, but we also don't know how many people are going for title. It could be 2 or it could be 20 and stuff like that. So with your titles and stuff but again, I'll put in the thing, photogenic actually is a great, and that's just a headshot. It's a cute little headshot. They get judged and they get a big trophy for that, and they do first, second, third, and stuff like that. And that could be anybody.
You have to have a headshot for any audition if you're going for being a professional dancer. So it's just a part of it's part of the educational training. If at some point you have
Yeah.
a wish to go past your studio life into different types
Did you get to
of.
keep the headshots?
They
Um,
didn't return it.
So basically, it's a,
You
and
just
it's not like, you print it out, you get,
Your copy digitally.
no, you bring, so usually what I do is if you were, say you're doing photogenic, you come to Mr. J or Miss Madison and we'll have an envelope and you're like, I want it. And you can also do that when you get there. When we get there, if your kid also goes, I want to go for photogenic, you have it, do it. If your child says, you know what? I kind of want to go for a title, you can also do it there. Miss Lauren did it last year. We were like, let's do it. So yeah, at the end of the day, we love you all. I'm so excited for y'all to see. We have grown. I've been here for 4 years. When we started, we literally had maybe 12 numbers going at competition. We have 46 numbers going. We have 42 kids on the team. It's a nice. I am very happy to see the growth where I came in and how we were step touching to what we're doing now, and that's every level. So I'm very proud, and I'm very proud of y'all bringing us to the studio because I feel like being a small studio, we are a family, and we like. But my thing is, let's show that when we go and be representative and have fun. Wear your shirts. We are going to have themes and stuff like that. I know what I was going to say. This is one. Let's make some stuff. Let's get together. Let's make some cool spirit sticks, stuff like that. Anything Monopoly. Yeah, let's do it. Have fun and make it a good year. And
Are
like I
we
said,
allowed to have, like, if I made a spirit stick that said music emotion, can I have it?
oh God, yeah.
You can, okay.
So yeah, when we have it, like that's what I'm saying. Like we can do that. Just be respectful because everybody has never done this before or has done this before. Okay, let me explain about Woodbridge. Woodbridge and Virginia. Okay, so in Virginia, when it comes to competition, there's 2 cities that are like huge for competition: Norfolk, Virginia, and Woodbridge. Because Woodbridge gets all the Maryland kids, all the Fairfax kids, all these giant studios. Norfolk kids, everybody's studio, we all know each other. We kind of get along. Judging, every time I'm judging in Woodbridge, I'm like, oh my God. People in Woodbridge, because we got some DC people, we're rough. So there's people that are like going to parents that are very this. That's why I said you smile and go, yes. Because there's people going to say stuff. There's parents that go crazy. There's parents that are like, just, yeah, it's not. When we're in Woodbridge, don't feed into it. When we're in Woodbridge, you will see different styles that you're going to go, oh, that's not appropriate. But guess what? Not our studio, we're good. But just be prepared because people get, sometimes I'm like, ooh, okay. You're going to see some 2-piece and a biscuit outfits and stuff, you know. And I'm sure when we do that, our kids are going to go, why are we not wearing that? Why? But yeah, so, but you know, it's going to, again, this year we're just trying to make it. I know that the new thing about the parents, I just want to try it because I did it with my other studio. And it worked. And it just, again, at the end of the day, we're there for the kids. And that was, again, I talked to every class. I was like, hey, what can I tell your parents that y'all want to do? And their biggest thing was taking pictures, hovering, and being in the dressing room. Now, it doesn't mean don't take pictures, but they're like, Mr. J, when we get with y'all, we want to be like this, but we turn around and it's like, they're going, people are here. And they're like, we just want to be like ourselves. And sometimes like they do, like the ones that are preteens, they sometimes want to sit down and put their makeup on themselves. Not bars, but you know, like be like, I want to do this and make their stuff because that's where they're growing. And stuff like that. And the little ones too, they get to be with their friends and be like, and they actually, the total difference is, I'm being serious, is their level of calmness is totally different when we have a lot of people. I'm saying not y'all not like, but I'm just saying like you just totally see the difference. Like I've seen like they're like, oh, we're ready to go, we're comfortable. Where it's like, oh my gosh, because they're getting that in their ear. I have to be so good for my parents. But then when you're out there, you can see your faces. We were wonderful and stuff. And again, when we're there, try to sit. If you want to sit close, that's fine. I don't like sitting close just because you can't really see, especially when you watch the production. It's like this. But yeah, support, have fun, and yes.
Does Woodbridge have a stage or are they on the floor?
It's a stage. We're in auditorium, but that's like I said, even since we're in an auditorium, we might be in a classroom, or we might be in the cafeteria, or we might be in a gym.
Are we
that-
doing some fun for like the awards?
I feel like, yes, I learned this from having studios. I like wearing like stupid hats, or maybe we can come
So
up with,
each competition that we go to will repeat the same themes.
Yeah.
Production day will be not 3 nights in a row, but the two main nights, Saturday and Sunday. Cause Fridays are usually just team photos and duets. But we'll do, Monopoly theme, and however we like build around that, and then because our tour essentially this year is called Hearts in Motion, I was thinking we could stick with the Valentine's theme pretty much kind of all through the season,
Yeah.
since we're in February and March. So that'll be a matter of Oriental trading and whatever comes up as Dollar Tree. That way everyone
yes.
is sticking to the theme at all of the awards that they go to and that they represent.
And we will,
Of course, we have the spirit sticks and that kind of
yes.
stuff. And then we have to come up with some kind of a game. I thought that was.
So
cute
what last year,
Dynamic movements is the
Dynamic
first
Moves,
video.
if y'all know Katie, what she does for her production, and it's genius, is she like always has something in production. So last year, she was doing this game, like all the girls were like, they were getting beads. And I was laughing because everybody's doing this, right? Well, guess what? In their production, they all went up like this, all the production, they all went. And it was, people were like in the audience, but they also, is where we're other studios, people are like, that. So I wanted to be like Music Motion. If we have like candy, there was one studio that had inspirational cards, and they would come up to different groups, and these dance groups said, here's a card from us, you inspired us. And it said, you inspired me for your dance. And like, so that's what this is all about with other studios. So I want, like we were talking, we want our studios, if it's like dice or something that represents us, so our kids can be like, hey, your costume's cool. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But Monopoly dollars. So maybe we could do that, but just be like, this is like us. And then everybody's like, oh, Monopoly. So when we do Monopoly, they're like, ah. Yeah. Or maybe the kids can do a personal like thank you. But we just want to do that because every competition also has a spirit award. And the judges watching behind the scene people, they look for people that have manners when you're checking in. And that group usually gets a spirit award. So yeah. Anything else? Cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to bulk buy like some of the stuff for the onstage Valentine heart stuff, or do you want students to individually pick them up?
I'm putting in a separate bulk buy order as gifts for the kids for our showcase. We have a lot of stuff coming up at the studio in general. So I would have to think about it.
Okay.
I think it should, I think once we pick the theme and tell you what it is and what day it's gonna be for each competition, then at that point, we would go and it would be up to the parents to. Yeah. Does
Cool.
that make sense?
Well, thank you all.
Bling team.
Y'all are amazing. I hope I answered questions or like explained like what's going on. There's gonna be a easier year, I feel. All right. Well, thank y'all. We will see y'all at 8 o'clock. Teaser 7.
Assuming we don't go over by accident.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you guys.
And 214.
What part?
Prop parent is props only. So that I would say that would be bling. Does that make sense? So prop parents are people that have to carry benches on and off the stage, which we still need. Unfortunately.
Who's
And I have to figure out, I guess I'm gonna have to borrow Jess's trailer to try and get this stuff up to Woodbridge.
Oh my God.
The stairs.
For what? Like as in,
Like, just map it out, do you want to do it individually for schedule?
Everyone.
yeah,
Does that work?
yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be based on schedule. Are you talking about, yeah, are you talking about muscle? Yes.
Muscle and like
Muscle.
Yeah,
Muscle.
backstage.
Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay, I'm thinking muscle.